Let's show how this is often deployed in an imaginary retail location, for example. So we have our edge device. This is a 6600 shown there. It's the most commonly deployed device that we have into a retail environment. It's our own design from the board upwards. It's got our own operating system on it. And as shown here, it's typically connected to a store's primary broadband connection. We can deliver managed broadband with our service, or we act in what's called a BYOB, a bring your own broadband mechanism, where we plug into whatever the customer's got. The devices themselves are controlled by the central management system. So if you've got access to the central management system and your credentials give you the ability to administer or look at or manipulate that device, you can see it and do what you're allowed to see and do. Our devices have built-in cellular connections. So this particular device, depicted in cartoon form here, has a dual SIM cellular module, and that can be used at the same time as the primary broadband with load balancing and packet mirroring and things. But what we see more commonly is people are wanting the most bang for their buck in terms of staying connected. And today, in the markets in which we operate, cellular data is expensive compared to wired broadband data, and so people choose to use cellular as failover only. They only want to use that cell data when they have to. And so our platform allows that to happen as well. Customers can choose, hey, my broadband needs to be down for a certain period of time. It might be 5 seconds, might be 3 minutes. And if it's been down for that period of time, flip to cellular. When the broadband comes back, if it's been stable for a specific period of time, might be 3 minutes, might be 15 minutes if it's a super flaky DSL circuit. Once it's stabilized, drop off the cellular, go back to the broadband. We have other customers that rely on their connectivity being up for voice calls. Companies that are doing outbound sales calls and things, they don't want to lose a customer in the middle of a call. So they'll have, in this example, both circuits up at the same time with packet mirroring going across them. So if they lose one circuit, the call stays up, they haven't lost a potential customer on the line. So that's sort of one end of the failover, i.e. no downtime at all unless the store's unplugged, for example, or they're unlucky enough and both circuits go down. Most operate on a sliding scale. They're saying, okay, I really only want to use one circuit at a time, and I'm going to balance how much I use that depending on how long I can stand being offline. For a retail petroleum location, it's typically 2 minutes. Most of them can be unimpacted if they're offline for 2 minutes, and that saves them money in cell data costs. Now you can also hijack, this typical edge device is capable of having 4 connections going into it. So 3 wired and a cellular. Not many customers are going to that extreme, but they can. So a typical retailer will also have one of our managed switches, and the scale guys here on the Intel NUC stuff they were demonstrating before, it's plugged into a Mako managed switch. They've been managing that from the cloud. So that's one of them sitting over there. Most end customers are now starting to use managed switches so that they can segment their networks as appropriate. So this is a pretty basic segmentation diagram, but if you're a retailer, you're probably going to segment your point of sale network from your voice network, from your back office, from your guest Wi-Fi, et cetera, et cetera. So the system is designed to segment those networks as appropriate. Our edge devices include Wi-Fi built into them, and it's really powerful. But if you have a larger footprint location, we're just in the middle of doing a deployment to a new fuel brand in Mexico. Mexico is a full-service fuel country, and so there's people in the forecourt with handheld point-of-sale machines. You put your credit card in while you're still sitting in the driver's seat. They have Wi-Fi in the canopies, so we have our access points can extend the reach of that edge Wi-Fi if a customer needs it.